I'm sorry, are you addressing me? Because your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass.
Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones.
Right on, and welcome to Music Starting Part 2. We are live and in-house. We have, with a Fox, we have Ryan, Jagger, and Worm. Guys, welcome to the show. How's it going?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
For having us.
So, last time I talked to you was very brief. It was Jagger, was yourself and Nick, and we talked about Justin. Sorry, I don't want to say Nick. We said Justin, but we talked about briefly about the new EP coming out and the shared vinyl single and the CBC contest.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of get into the contest, CBC contest first. What song did you submit, and why did you guys decide to get into it, and how did it work for you?
Well, we submitted, I believe it was War With You, and we didn't end up successful with that one. What we ended up doing is submitting another song, 1,000 Nations, to the On Stage. It's a sort of a contest. It's sort of a voting and ranking type of website where they have a number of different artists submit songs, and then people subscribe to the service and then vote. And our song, 1,000 Nations, won first place in February and March of this year.
2 months in a row.
Yeah, was voted best in rock. So that's where we're at now, and I think we'll probably find out the April results soon as well, because it just continuously keeps going. So,
was there a specific reason why you chose 1,000 Nations, or was it just kind of the one that seemed that might do well enough to kind of get you guys to I guess get through the past couple months?
well, not entirely. All of our songs that we've ever recorded are actually up there, and I'm not entirely sure how 1,000 Nations started gaining ground, but that's the song that ended up doing quite well and
Surprised me a little bit, to be honest, but I think it's pretty cool.
It's a bit of a slower jam, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great tune though.
Yeah, so it is a good song, and we were happy with it, and the recording was good as well. So I suppose not entirely surprised, but it's a little out of. But it's not the song we thought would do that well for that sort of thing, anyway.
Shout out to EMAC on that one too.
That's right.
Fair enough. And things like we're gonna rehash a few questions here because it was a very short interview, which kind of just to kind of warm up sort of thing. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit. The name With a Fox. How did the band name come up? Like, what was the kind of inspiration behind it? It could be a good story, it could be not be a good story, but it doesn't matter. Let's hear it anyways.
You ready for this one? Dr. Seuss.
Oh, no way, nice.
Dr. Seuss. So I believe Justin was our singer was reading Green Eggs and Ham with his daughter one night, and it's like asked, "Would you eat green eggs and ham in a box?" And it's like, "I would not eat green eggs and ham in a box or with a box," or something along those lines. And it just stuck with him for some reason, and that's actually how he came up with it.
I think he called Mike like right away too. He was like, "Yo, I got a name." Mike
figured it out, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
So yeah.
Now, next up, just with the recording, like, who brings what to the table? Is it always a group effort, or does like kind of one person do one thing, or you kind of have a collaboration of ideas that just kind of, we'll call it spitball in the studio?
Well, how the band sort of came together is Justin and Mike had formerly played in a band together called Messes and Miracles, and they started a new project together. They brought me on board. I knew them from back when I was in high school, Sweetheart. And then the three of us kind of wrote and recorded that EP. We brought in a drummer, a friend of ours, Jay Westman. And then once we recorded that EP, we realized, well, you know what, we need a full-time band. We're going to need members. So happily, Warren and Ryan agreed to join us for whatever reason.
Facebook, man.
Yeah, so and they learned that EP, and we started writing new songs, and the sound of our new songs is pretty different from the EP. In that it's so happily Warren and a different band to join us for whatever reason.
Hey, Mike. Mike, is that you? So we can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right,
Hello.
never mind. Okay, so go ahead, Jack.
So we haven't actually. I mean, I think we're going to probably get into the studio, sometime this year. I would hope to sort of record this lineup and those new songs.
Now, your lineup has switched a little bit because I remember you and Justin mentioned that briefly. So, what happened and what switch was made?
Well, we just needed people. The drummer we brought on, Jay Westman, he's already in a couple local bands, Red Arms and The Weathered, both very successful local bands. He's a father of two. You know, he didn't really have the time for the third band, and you know, that was fine. He did a great job for us, but we wanted somebody who was dedicated to what we were doing, and Warren was happy enough to come along and do that. We're very happy with what we have now, and Ryan as well, of course.
Yeah.
And so we were basically just the three of us without a drummer as far as the core members of the band, and we brought in Warren and Ryan to sort of form everything.
No, I've seen you guys play a few shows lately. You did your EP release at Rum Runners, which was an awesome show, and then we just saw you again at Oldies Bar and Grill, which is a cool show. Now, with since you guys have been gigging so much, have you found it's really kind of helped you out, like media-wise, meaning like get more listeners and more followers because of it?
Yeah, somewhat. We've, I think a few of our live shows we've turned some heads. We've been able to bring out, a lot of friends and family, and I think all of us have been in bands before to some extent, but I think we've had some success with those folks getting the word out to other folks and getting some social media, I suppose, hype going in a sense. To really sort of push us forward within London itself. And we have a number of other shows lined up, and I think we're going to be continuing to try to put ourselves out there into London and the surrounding area, if possible, within the year. So
is it safe to say that the past band experiences kind of helped with this one, kind of solidify it as an actual, fully functional beast, we'll call it? Yeah, I think we all have a lot of experience. We've all had some success in some previous bands. I think that goes a long way. Although, when you have a lot of people who feel like they've sort of been there and done that, you get some conflicting theories as far as how you're going to develop your band. But ultimately, I think we're friends enough and we enjoy the product enough to the point where we're able to sort of come together on most decisions. I'd say fairly reasonably. Right on. I'm gonna pass the mic over here to Mike. Mike.
Mike. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, buddy.
Living the dream.
So, go ahead with your questions.
Good stuff. Well, listen, we are loving your tunes on the show. Really, digging everything we played. So, my question is, your songs are really, really anthemic, and they really stick in your mind, and they have those kind of hooks and catches which are really cool. How do you go about writing that? Where does that? I don't even know how you begin doing something like that.
That's a hard thing to describe, isn't it?
Mike.
Yeah. Our guitar player and singer who are not here, who originally started the band, a lot of that EP was written around Mike's writing, his guitar playing, and Justin's singing. Justin does have a lot of experience as a singer, and he has a very distinct sound. And I think the two of them together put together a very compelling writing project together. And then I think the rest of us were able to really flesh it out. And
it's been cool just trying to listen to what he's doing. The nice thing about a lot of those riffs he's been bringing to the table are that they're not as basic as some of the things I've worked with in the past, or some things I've tried to write with in the past as a drummer, where there's a lot of intricacies in the playing and harmonics and lots of chord changes and suspensions and things. And with Justin having such a good ear for just good hooks and good ways to escalate a song vocally, I think my job as a drummer, kind of sitting down, was just trying to accent all those things that he was doing, trying to keep, a somewhat simple groove so that, it'll stick in your head, but at the same time come up with something that really shows the consumer, the listener, that I'm listening to my guitarist. I'm trying to play this because of what he's doing. And when Jagger and I can just lock in with the bass and the drums getting tight, and then we come up with these new, new little nuances, I guess you would call them,
right,
that just, add a little bit of flavor to it. And Silky Leads by this guy in the middle. Right?
Yo, it's really hard to write over Mike's stuff. I struggle all the time. Mike will be like, yo, check out this riff. And I sit there and I go, so I'm not playing for this song, or what do you want me to do? Because it's difficult. But no, it's a challenge, and I think that's what makes our songs even better. Like Jag said earlier, the new stuff that's come out since the five of us have gotten together, it's definitely different. And it's pushed me, even just as a player, to kind of change things up from what I'm used to. Like Warren said, he's used to certain ways and just kind of done that from the past, and now it's like, okay, change that up and forget everything you know. So yeah, it's definitely it's always a work.
Quote unquote breaking the mold then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike?
That's awesome. So is it always Mike that comes with the riff and that starts the song, or do you find each of you come with something, does one of you come up with a beat or whatever and then the others put it on, or is it always that kind of structure, or how does that work in terms of fleshing it out? Does it always begin with the same person?
I wouldn't say the same person, but there's usually something melodic that happens first. I wouldn't say it's like a rhythm that would occur first. Someone as simple as one of our newest songs that we usually close our set with right now. I think someone was just messing around, kind of tapping. It may have been Mike, I'm pretty sure. But there was a couple times where someone would just play something. I would just jump up and be like, "Hey, what is that? Like play that again," and then just try and put something cool underneath of it. And next thing you know, Jagger's playing along with me, and then we just turn it into a part. We've written about 3 songs accidentally off of riffs that just kind of sounded cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's been awesome. It's been really, really cool. And one of them was bluesy, one of them swampy, one of them's got like a little bit more of a progressive feel to it, I guess. And one's really up tempo and shuffly as well. So we haven't really been held back by a specific subgenre. It's just been
whatever we want to play.
Yeah, and it's so cool to be able to do that.
That was going to be my next question, because you guys haven't really kind of just listening to music, you haven't narrowed yourself down to one thing, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So my next question before the first song here is influences. What kind of influence can you guys bring in? I mean, if you can name 1, 3, whatever is easiest for you. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
well, for with the Fox style of music, I mean, as far as a bass player, you want to really complement the song, and so I really like guys like John McVie from Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
You think about a guy like that, he lays down the bass and it sounds great and it suits the song. That's what I like. I like getting into some lower registers now, playing the 5-string, stuff like that. Jay Semko from the Northern Pikes, he does some really melodic type of bass lines in a sort of pop rock type of format. I like that. Those are the types of bass players who I would look to with the Fox as far as influence.
Right.
Yeah. For myself, I don't know. I try and pull from everywhere, just because, like I said, I'm in a position where I step into the song and I kind of have to do it. Like, I really like the kind of like ethereal, kind of like over the top floaty stuff. So I've always been like a big fan of Tool.
Right.
A lot of their kind of just like. Every intro to every song they have is just always just like, what the hell's gonna happen next? And he just gets super pumped about it. So yeah, I kind of pull from there, and like my background is very like effects based and that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I'm always tap dancing through songs, and that's kind of it's kind of just all over the place for me.
Yeah. Me, funnily enough, I grew up on metal, pure metal. That was pretty much it when I was in high school. Like, Lamb of God's my favorite band. It's like Chris Adler was my favorite drummer for. Well, he still is, I would say, but all through high school, that's all I wanted to learn how to do. And so I like to think that I bring a little